Hi, and welcome to DD Live. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I'm with what? Fuck me. I'm sorry, guys. I was gonna say my yeah. You guys got me. There's just so much shit talking here that like I'm nervous. I don't know what's gonna happen week 4, and I'm not part of it. So here you go.
Tutty, baby.
Let's fucking go!
Try all you want. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm number one for a fucking reason.
Stupid.
Hi, and welcome to DD Live. As always, your host, Angel Camacho, and I'm introducing you my right hand, Jose Perraguerra, and the one and only Mikey, the Stifler Sabina.
Let's do it.
Gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of ground to cover. There's a lot of games to be played. There's a lot of gossip. There's turmoil. There's a lot of movement behind the scenes. And I've never seen the Done Deal Sports Twitter handle be more active in any other season than this one. But as always, I'm going to cut it short, and we're just going to jump right into the thick of things. And I know we had some game of the weeks last week that the commissioners gave us. Falcons, Chargers, Dolphins, Seahawks, Panthers.
Not it.
And who are the Bengals? Yeah, that was a skunk, 4-0. So pretty much the games of the week last week, they were marred by injuries, trades, broken hearts, and teams that, quite frankly, don't have a QB. So that said, we kind of had to give you something else. So we kind of scoped around and found a couple games to talk about. And as the show progresses, you're going to see why we brought up these teams. And it's the fact that they have a vital role to play in the final week of the season. And as you all know, there's 20 teams, and 6 teams on each side are going to get into the big dance. And there's a lot of questions on who's going to play, who's injured, and how these matches are going to pan out. So before we get into week 4, let's look how we got here. And in week 3, the first game that we're going to review is Panthers versus Giants. Now, you want to give us a little synopsis of how this game went down, Jose? Because I was at the Ham revenge game, which wasn't much of a revenge game. So tell me what happened between the Panthers and the Giants.
I mean, it was a complete different game than the first one we played. The first one we played was 2-1. This was 4-3. It was just, I don't want to say it was a shootout because we both got stops, but it was just score, or like I would just say it was big play after big play after big play. You know, whether there was the 2 top plays of the week, I think, came from that game.
The quarterback was on fire. He had people moving.
Yeah. There was a quarterback there. Both quarterbacks were running quarterbacks that game. And then it was a good game. It was a good game. Like I said, it was completely different than the one that we had to begin the season. But like I said, it was big play after big play after big play over and over. So
what was one of the biggest moments in the game? Did you feel that it was Panthers from the very onset, or it was kind of even and then one play kind of tilted?
Yo, that throw was funny.
I think it was pretty even, honestly. It was pretty even.
Receiving touchdown?
No, I got a rushing touchdown. I sacked Chris Diaz.
Just caught a ball. Yo, you're an animal. How do you move like that? Yo, you pissed me off. What is this? Why didn't he throw that? Yo, Chris D, bro. Chris D.
Yeah, I sacked Chris D.
Is there any way you can go back to Gabe T being wide open?
I don't think I even want to see that. I don't even think I want to see that. That was pretty bad.
Guy's wide open, bro. And he wants to run and just
popcorn
fumbles
before the game.
He should have caught this. Oh, he did. I was talking about the dive, the one that he dropped. You know what I'm talking about?
That was week 1, I think. That was week 1, I think. He didn't drop a ball. This one he caught, and that was a great catch.
Yo!
Oh, was that a flying saucer?
You saw that.
Best with the Beaky 5000. Ahí está. Here you go.
Manu.
Paulie was so open on that play. It's not even funny.
I love this right here. Toma. Forest, man.
Pepito left
right here.
now.
This is the draw. That's what I'm saying.
And
If not, it's all.
And was this? Whoop!
No,
What?
man.
I'm getting
Said
cooked.
no, man. That can't happen. That cannot happen. That's
I wish hey,
unacceptable.
Perla, I wish I had
I
moves
don't
like
even
that.
care about the play, man. Chris D's reaction was priceless.
Hilarious. Hilarious. It's the same thing I would have said to my entire team if that happened. Forrest, what he needed to do was unlace the cleats right there and hang them up. But I cannot do that to you.
I did it twice to him, and that one, the one that he was rushing me, was actually worse. Because this one, I gave him the benefit that he was just running, so all I had to do was just cut back because he's too fast for his own good. But
No
yeah,
breaks. I
I
tell him
got
all the time.
Yeah, Panthers and Giants, two interesting teams. That was a pretty good game to watch. And they're gonna have a vital role in the final week of the season. So a lot to watch there.
We gave them their only loss of the week. I think they went 3-1 last week.
Yeah,
So
no, and the Giants have something good going with them there. You
I
know,
didn't think they did, bro. They're doing good, bro.
they
They're
they
doing
gave,
good.
the Bears had been playing with a very good momentum. And one of the games that I watched was the Giants versus the Bears, and the Giants just completely stomped the Bears. Chris J, Dusty, Daniel, they had no answer for Chris D, Forrest, and the rest of the Giants. They really did put the pressure on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of the times during that game, they were playing with the short side of the field, and it's one of the reasons why the Giants had a great week 3 and positioned themselves to have a strong ending to their campaign.
Dusty blamed us for having a bad week, bro.
Yeah, it's the DD live curse, I guess.
He said we put pressure on him for the MVP. He said that killed me.
A lot of players are complaining about the DD live curse. We gave them some love, we gave them some props, and they underwhelmed now on week 3. Now the other game that we wanted to talk about, I don't know how much your memory is there, Mikey, but Pat's Dolphins, because Friday was pretty eventful for you. So Saturday morning, walk us through it. Pat's Dolphins.
I wake up. David's calling me at 7:45. No, I missed his call. It's my girlfriend wakes me up. Go to the park. You're late for your game. Get there, throw up. I don't know. A couple people saw me. Quick. That doesn't bother me. We start horrible. I think it's 3-0 to start the game.
I think it was 2-0, 3-0. It was pretty bad.
It's bad, bro. Carlos he got me on a hitch to the house. Jaime's feeling as bad as me though, so that helped us. He had some false starts, just plain dumb. Baca came out good, and then they fell off. I don't know what happened to them. They let us tie up the game. Literally, that's all that happened.
But that sort of word came in, with David and you playing defense, and that you guys
we had to wake up,
contain them and keep them in front of you. But Jaime had a great game, and Baca had a great game. I think this is more of a team that fits Baca's style of play, where he's able to be a little bit more mobile and have players that could have the handoff game and where he could catch them and they can make moves. Carlos and Jaime have been great additions for Baca in this campaign, playing as a quarterback. And
Jaime's being a monster. I can't believe they let us tie that game. I know they're mad about that. Dude, they had us murdered, and I was already like huffing and puffing.
Well, definitely Patriots and Dolphins are going to be two teams that we're going to be talking about, but
unfortunately, we're gonna go back at it for sure.
Unfortunately, as the game was progressing, more people were progressing towards this game, and it ended in a tie. And it's going to be questions that are going to have to be answered in the playoffs, because these are, in my opinion, two of the better teams in the conference. Definitely. And you just see, look at the skill level. For
Jaime gets me right here.
And Jaime done.
I can't cover Jaime that long, bro.
I mean, it's
if
hard
the rush is missed, it's over.
Hard to cover anyone that long. Jaime's a beast.
Once a missed rush is a missed rush, that's TD, bro. They ain't got a sack here. Nah.
No, it was the first play of the game, man. He had a sack. Similar, but here Jaime with another great catch.
Yeah. You miss a rush, Jaime's gonna find a spot, bro. Jaime he's not the fastest guy, but he finds the pocket. He knows where to be.
And then Baca can make all the throws, bro. He has a great arm. So he can make all the throws. So that's why you see half of his throws, I would say he never even steps into them. It's all arm.
That's why he has a high completion rate. They're all little safe short throw. Look at this, bro.
You guys are not hearing it with the audio.
What was that?
Because Chris was talking the house of crap to David, because I'm standing there taking the video, and And Chris was talking, and David just composed, rolls out to the left, and hits Manny for the touchdown.
Yeah, bro.
I'm nervous.
David's a
excited.
magician.
I'm shitting myself.
Adriana,
Thank you. Oh, hold on.
did you see I'm in a podcast?
I didn't know you can hear me.
I mean, I can't. Get out the room.
Let me go to the bathroom.
My bad.
Well, if anything, we'll tell done deal that that's your feminine side.
But nah, this is a game that for sure we both felt like Jaime was swamped, I was swamped. It was an ugly game, bro. A lot of mistakes on both sides. They lost the game. I mean, they take this as an L because they had us beat, bro, really bad, and they just let us catch up. So I feel more happy about this game than they do, and I'm sure David does. We were going
anytime you're able to come back. Anytime you're able to come back from 2-0 is big, bro.
They had free sub too. Remember, we went 4 strong right here. Look, Carlos, this is how we opened up the game. Right now, I was like, okay, wake up. So we'll see what happens in playoffs. But they're a good team nonetheless. Carlos and Jaime are a problem.
And these are the teams that we wanted to showcase because of the reason that these are 4 teams that are going to play a vital role in week 4. And
First 2 buys. Guaranteed. We're going to see them in the Southern Conference, right? We're the Southern Conference? Yes, we are.
well, I would hope in week 4, you know what conference you're in, Mikey. Now, moving on.
I need my rematch.
Moving on. Now we're going to review the drops and additions that we've had. From the outside looking in, it seems that there's been a lot of movement in terms of in-season changes, not so much as injuries, but in more of just not having players available and players dropping. Now, 2 teams that were, affected in this, one of them is the Cowboys. Cowboys had Rafa go down with an injury, and then they got a replacement. Jose, you want to chime in on this?
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to talk about. They got significantly better. At everything you want in a player, they got significantly better. Nico can cover better. Nico knows flag. Nico's been playing flag for a number of years with Patterson and Georgie, so he knows the game. Yes, they want to say because he can't throw, he's a tier 4. No, he's still a solidified middle of the road tier 3, even if he's not throwing, because he's just as fast as Rafa. And like I said, he can cover. So
is he? Let me ask you a question, Perra, because you know the player. Is he a better football player than Kevin?
He has a better arm than Kevin. He's faster than Kevin. He's obviously stronger by Mikey's observation of his picture. But
hey, Mike, if you get a picture, drop it. That guy looks like G.I. Joe, Navy SEAL, made in a lab, ready to enforce all laws of DD. Wow.
But yeah, I mean, it's not even a shot at Kevin, because I would probably still give the edge in terms of knowledge of the game and stuff to Kevin, but he has a better arm than Kevin. He's faster than Kevin. Yeah, he can jump higher than Kevin is a solidified tier 3. I don't care what anybody says, whether he's throwing the ball or not. If they're both throwing the ball, I'm gonna take Nico, because on the other side of the on the other side of the ball on DD, which is important, he's a better defender and a better corner, a better cover guy than Kevin is. So and that tells you all you need to know. You're comparing him to Kevin. And he replaced Rafa.
And that's the reason why I'm bringing it up, because Kevin, because that's what we have as a baseline. Kevin not throwing is a tier 3. That's what DD has established, that Kevin not throwing is a tier 3. So if this player is better than Kevin, then and Rafa's what, a tier 4?
Yeah, rated tier 4, drafted tier 4.
So the pressure's on the Cowboys.
Yep.
They got significantly better, and they got to capitalize on week 4, and that's where they got to move on. So that's huge. That's huge for the Cowboys. The fact that, they had an injury in Rafa. Hope you get better soon, brother, and that you'll be able to play in the next tournament. But that said, Cowboys just got a lot better. And the Cowboys, they have notable players that have been having good seasons. Georgie's one of them. Mark is another player that we've talked a lot about on this show. So you had another presence in a tier 3 quality player that can throw. Cowboys Cowboys might be one of those teams that that might put a push to get one of those higher seeds going into the playoffs. Because as we're going to talk in the rest of the show, the way this week 4 is going to turn out is that whoever's on that bottom end, there's going to be a lot of fighting for those positions. So the better solidified you are on the table, the more favorable matchup you're going to have going into the playoffs. So obviously the Cowboys won with this edition, and well, the Bengals had to drop Kevin obviously because he wasn't going to be here for week 4, and it was a team coming into week 4, 2-9-1. Doesn't matter who they were going to put on that team, even if they won out, they would have still been below the threshold and not even make the playoffs. So not that on that front it affected anything outside of maybe taking away a vote from the DDPA in any case, if we wanted to measure it from that sense. So in terms of adding and removing players, the Cowboys are big winners going into week 4. Now that said, missing players, injured players, that's a big question mark going into week 4. Some notable players that will not be available for week 4. Chris Baca. That leaves the 49ers at 4 hard with 2 tier 5s. So they have Jordan and Petey, and then they'll have Nick G and Nick Q. So it's 2 tier 5s along with Petey and Jordan. Make that make of that what you want. What do you think about that, Mikey?
I mean, I played against them with Baca last week, and it was really bad. Not a knock on Petey, but he threw like dog. I can't curse here, but
dog water.
You know what?
Dog water.
Yeah, bro. That guy was horrific. It was, those people looked horrible. But with Baca gone and Nick Q wasn't there, so it's just pretty much a sub. They get worse. From my experience playing them, I think that team is horrible right now. With them, I mean, I don't know, bro. I liked Kevin, bro. With Kevin, they had sneaky plays. Like with Petey now, he's actually in shotgun throwing, and I don't think Petey has the arm for that, bro. Like, ya Petey está viejo, papi. No one is your time. Ya no tires más. Ponte a coger y hacer pitch back, but stop thinking you're a quarterback.
He's going to need
cost your team a playoff spot.
He's going to need a lot of Bengay for week 4. Other notable misses. Man. Lulu, Falcons. So that would leave Raymet at the helm.
Yep.
A lot of conspiracy here. A lot of conspiracy.
There's talk that none of the Falcons are going to show up for week 4.
Second season in a row.
If they do that, they technically forfeit all 4 games, and they get their point differential score record, right?
Yeah, I mean, the point differential go out the window because it would for sure be negative.
The biggest losers here are the players that have something to play for, notably David Elias and the Dolphins going against the Falcons. David is always in the MVP race. So the fact that he won't be able to, that's one less game where he's not going to be able to put up stats. They would
average out his stats for the other games. That's how they usually do it. Because I know that's how
but against a team that's debilitated like that, David could put 4 touchdowns. Instead of like the average, 3 or 2 touchdowns, it makes a difference, bro. So we are upset about that. We know winning is more important, but at the end of the day, bro, if you're in the race, you're in the race. You still want to kind of act like stats aren't completely not meaningless. Everybody in the inside wants to win a race. So I feel bad. If Falcons don't show up, I'm going to see you, Manny. I'm going to see you, Raymond. Show up, dog. That's a threat.
2 other notable misses, and just because of the significance. Ian is missing for the Chargers, obviously, with the foot injury. He re-aggravated a foot injury. He came back too soon and re-aggravated the foot that he had.
Week 1 of week 3. I was reffing their game, and he's like, yeah, bro, I can't. Like, he couldn't even take his sock off because he was, like, scared to even look at it.
That's horrific. And then that sort of leaves Eddie again with the conundrum of playing 4 hard with 2 tier 5s.
Yeah. So, yeah. We've gone back and forth about this, like I've always said, I'm not losing to a team with 2 tier 5s, especially 2 legitimate tier 5s. Yeah, no. And then if they're going for hard, bro, it's like that team, they might be able to sneak out a win if they get ball first and they just score 4 straight times. But
dude, Hey, look, I played them last week and we won 4-3 on some sneaky out. Yo, David and me were tripping. Eddie ran out and up, touchdown. He has like these sneaky little plays where you have to wake up. If he catches a team sleeping, he might sneak a win. And I think all he needs is a win to clinch, right?
All he needs is a win. That's something we're going to talk about in one of the next segments. The
Gotcha. We'll leave that.
Chargers only need one dub. Chargers only need one dub. So that's of significance, the fact that Ian's not going to be there. So in the question that is presumed, and hopefully it's answered even before the show airs, is Ian going to drop? Because if he's not
No,
good
he's
to play,
not.
he's not going to drop.
Eddie said it already in the chat.
So
He
he's-
said Ian is gonna miss. They're gonna go 2-2, and he's gonna come back in playoffs with a vengeance. He wrote it like that.
Okay. I hope they make the playoffs then. That's huge. And then the other
Yeah.
one, and it's sort of, it's not a knock on Big Bird, but sometimes it's better not to have that other tier 5 to be able to rotate in. But the Saints are one of those teams on the bubble where if they put a good campaign in week 4, they could be able to squeeze into the playoffs. Statistically, they're there. They could very easily go 3-1, 2-2, 3-1.
Yep.
2-2, 3-1 puts them in the playoffs. So not having Big Bird kind of works into their favor because
Amazing.
AJ and Cheeky, they're athletes and
They
could be able
better
to
get
perform.
off to a good start. I'll say that. I
Correct.
think they need to start. They definitely need to win that game against the Raiders. And then who do they play second?
That's the game.
Ravens.
That's the game. 8 a.m. Saints
100%, but
Raiders is going to
I think
determine the
they
playoffs.
I think they need to start 2-0. Obviously, at that point, they're in the playoffs. But even if they start 1-0, bro, if they lose to like a Ravens team, they can, just because they're going for hard, they might be mentally defeated because they lost to a team that they should have lost, they should have beat. And then it becomes a battle of both physical fatigue and then mental fatigue and then pressure because damn, we need to win. We need to win. We need to win.
Yeah,
So-
they need at least 2 wins to even be in the conversation to get in. 3 gets them in. 2, it all depends on point differential and then what 2 wins that might be, and then the other teams. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. That said, any other gossip, gentlemen? Is there anything that you guys would like to share? Anything on the rumor mill? Nothing. You got to smirk, Perra. You got to smirk. I have a feeling you're going to drop something. Mikey's going to have to come in at the 11th hour and edit this video. Nothing to report from
What's
Panthers
up?
camp. There's turmoil.
No, there's definitely no turmoil here. We're not the Ravens when they have Pablo. Nothing. Everything in the Panthers is a family decision. But no, there's definitely no turmoil. There's other stuff going on in the Panthers camp, but no turmoil, no discontent, no nothing, no negativity in our camp.
Okay, duly noted. We'll keep watching that line to make sure that
Stay waiting for the news chat though.
Absolutely. Well, because of the fact that I'm not in the news chat, I'm not in any chats. The only thing I got is notifications from Twitter. So, John, for the love of God, tweet as fast as you type on that WhatsApp chat. That said, moving on, looking at the standings. So before we move into our segment where we're going to look at the games of the week, just sort of look at how we're going into week 4. So from 1 to 6, we got in the South, we got the Niners, Falcons, Finns, Patriots, Chargers, Raiders. That's the way that it stands. The Chargers are tied with the Saints. The only thing that's helping them is the fact that they have a nine touchdown differential in their favor.
Yep.
So the Raiders have good position in the fact that if they just, they get their games, they're going to be able to get in. The North, on the other hand, we have the Seahawks, Giants, Panthers, Cowboys, Bears, Cardinals. And that sort of looks like, in terms of talent wise and what the schedule would look like, that's pretty much cemented in stone. But as we'll touch in a little bit, there are a couple scenarios that we've been looking at where it could be able to flip. So with that in mind, we're going to preview and pick the winners of the games of the week for this following week. And the first game that we have on the slate is 8 a.m. Saints versus Raiders. So walking in, as has been previously discussed on the show, Big Bird's not going to be there. Saints are going to go 4 hard. It's a new look, revamped Raiders with Matt playing quarterback. They got Lewis. They got Dax. What do you guys think? Who's going to take this game? Raiders, Saints.
Before anything, did you pick these games a week or they did?
No,
They did. This
He-
is
Okay,
DD
smart,
picked
smart.
this.
About to say that's a good game of the week. Raiders and Saints.
Oh, I should have said me. I would have taken credit.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough game to pick honestly because, like we discussed,
Yeah, it is.
earlier, Matt is, and I don't care what it is, he's a fat improvement over Tommy just because I believe the difference between Tommy's quarterback play and Matt is there. I think Tommy's a better quarterback, but I think the athletic ability and the ability to cover and play defense, given that it's DD and that's such a big part of the game, the gap between Matt and Tommy on that side of the ball is humongous, humongous, and that makes Matt a huge improvement because the gap one way is bigger than the gap the other way. So I want to say the Raiders win this game just because
And Raiders get ball first.
exactly they
First
get ball
game, first game of the day, 8 a.m., nice and fresh. Raiders get ball first.
Yeah, I think Lewis is known as one of those guys that he's always in it, and he's fucking Lewis, bro. Like he's a monster,
Right.
He has a guy that can get him the ball, and Lewis is known like he's out there early with his team warming up.
Yes.
Whether
That's true.
and when you see on the opposite side, you see AJ and Cheeky strolling in at 7:55. So
805.
yeah, I mean we start games late anyway, so yeah, 8:05 is definitely believable. But yeah, I mean. I think, especially the fact that they get ball, I think they come out early. Maybe they punch him in the mouth with a 1 or 2 play score, and then it goes from there. So I got Raiders 4-2.
4-2.
Yeah, I got
Mikey?
Raiders too, bro. Same exact thing. I mean AJ and Lewis probably go at it a bit, but I don't like the other matchups, man. Like he said, bro, Matt can run it. Cheeky's gonna have to guard Dax, which maybe he could, bro. But
Yeah, because you're gonna end up with someone like what is it? On the Saints, it's gonna be either Suazo or it's gonna be Manny Sardinas covering Matt.
No, I would imagine Swazzle's gonna rush Matt, and then you're gonna have Manny S on Gabe T, and I love Gabe T.
I love that matchup. Gabe T's such an underrated player. Everyone looks at him aesthetically and just might think that that he's just not.
That boy fast as hell, boy.
Yeah, he could boogie.
So
He could boogie.
yeah, I'm gonna take that matchup
Listen,
yeah,
the Raiders got into the playoffs last season solely because
of Lewis.
Lewis and that week 4 Gabe T performance is what got him over the top. Because Gabe had some huge plays in week 4 last season. And I remember, and he's deceptively quick and
And then
deceptively
they're
good.
playing, the Saints are going for hard. So if I'm Lewis or if I'm in the Raiders camp, guess what I'm doing?
Pick apart.
Gabe, you're only playing offense. You're gonna rest on defense. One, cover Manny S. I'm gonna save Gabe T for offense, and that's it. Eat him alive, Gabe. This is your game. That's it.
Yeah. If that's the game plan, yeah, then I would easily see the Raiders winning this 4-2-4-1. That
Yeah,
would
the
that would be
Raiders
my
win,
my
bro.
consensus there. So that's a very big game because it kind of sets the rest of the games in motion for the rest of the week, given the fact that the Raiders are holding that last 6 seed going into the playoffs and the Saints are on the bubble on the outside looking in. Point differential is not going to be enough for them, especially if they take a loss to the Raiders. So from there on outward, the Saints have to win practically every other game
And they have to
or
start blowing people out.
blowing people out or hoping that the Raiders fold. So that's sort of
well, the Raiders have a hard schedule, man. The Raiders but after that game, Raiders have to play Dolphins and Patriots, which they can win. I'm never gonna count any team out because they have their full team, but they play Patriots, Dolphins, and the Niners. So they go 2-2. But Saints have an easier schedule. Saints can go 3-1.
right.
They could lose to the Raiders and just go 3 wins. Saints play Raiders, so let's say they lose that game, fine. But then they play Chargers, win, Bengals, win, Ravens. It could come down to it, but let's just say we give them a win, and Raiders could easily just go 1-3 the whole day.
Yeah.
If
No,
Raiders,
I
if
agree.
Raiders go 1-3, they'll have 19 points. If they go 2-2, they'll have 21 points. If the Saints go 3-1, they'll have 25. If they go 2-2, they'll have 22. So however you cut it, the Raiders have to come out winning because if the
Exactly.
Saints go 3-1, they're in and the Raiders are out.
Yeah, I think it's like you said. I think that first game is key because if I'm the Saints, you need to get that dub. Because you're
Yeah,
going
if you
for
lose
hard.
it, bye-bye.
You're
If you
going
lose it, you
for hard.
lost.
Like you said, they play the Chargers. That's an even matchup because they're both going for hard. And then obviously the Saints have the advantage that they're only going for hard with one tier 5. You know, Eddie will be going for hard with 2 tier 5s. You know, so you gotta win that game. No matter what happens that first game, you gotta win that game. You know, and then they play. Who else do they play? Who else do the Saints play?
Bro,
The Bengals?
Chargers, Bengals, and Ravens.
Yeah, so you would assume the Bengals would assume is a dub, but the Bengals are going. They have a full squad and they don't have a tier 5. You know, so if they're smart, they don't have a quarterback, but they don't have a tier 5, and their worst player is Gianni, and Gianni's very freaking fast. You know, so you can try to isolate that matchup one way or the other. And then they play a full squatted Ravens, which have nothing to lose, but exactly that. They have nothing to lose. They can just play a spoiler. So it's
And a team with Monchi
think-
that there's a certain level of pride there, and we saw that last week. The Ravens played pretty well, and even the teams that did not have the best records, you know, and one of those other teams, you know, the Steelers, Packers, you know, they despite not having great records, you know, there's pride there. There's pride, and then they were out there playing. So you know, I'm not saying that these are automatic wins. You know, anything could happen, but you know, Saints Raiders, those are teams to follow around this Saturday, because depending on their performances is who's going to be on the playoffs or not.
Yeah, this is a good week 4 for them, man. They're gonna come down to it, and yeah, bro. I'm really excited to see if Cheeky is clutch and gets a spot, man. Hopefully, I mean, is it possible they both sneak in and a team falls out, or are we not talking about that yet?
Not yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's possible, but very slim. A lot of things have to change. Now, the next game of the week that we have at 10:15 a.m. is going to be Panthers versus Cowboys. This is very interesting. Cowboys, as we just mentioned, they got a tier 3 for a tier 4. So it's a better Cowboys team coming in, and the Panthers, there's some question marks. You know, we saw.
Why they make that game of the week?
Well, because the Panthers are one of those higher seeded teams, and the Cowboys are coming in and they're in the middle of the pack. So they have the possibility to make a move and move up the standings. And given who's going to be on the bottom end, this is why it's so important on where you're going to finish with the seeding, because it's what your potential matchups are going to be in the playoffs. That said, where do the Panthers even stand? You know, and it's not like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's not like, you know, if anything, just going by what we saw last week, Perra, you didn't even finish the week. Willie, sprained ACL. Manu, hurt. Pepito, his good hamstring, hurt. So there's a lot of question marks if the Panthers are going to be at 100%. Are they going to drop players? Are they going to replace players? And I wish we could record this on the day before DD so that we could be the most accurate, because Pera doesn't have answers for me right now. So we're just kind of in limbo here. If it stays as it is, it'll be an easy dub for the Cowboys.
Ooh.
Unless there's health or changes.
You think if it stays as it is, obviously with the injuries, but if everyone's healthy, you still think it's an easy dub for the Cowboys?
No, absolutely not. I would take the Panthers. I'm gonna take Pauly every time.
Healthy Panthers and Cowboys. Yeah, I've never seen that Nico guy play, bro. But I'm assuming that guy's good as hell. I don't know. It's a good game, bro. I don't even want to pick. I think
the last game went down to 4-3. The last game went down to 4-3, and in this one, the Cowboys would have the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna
go with Cowboys because I know you're not gonna be healthy, but even if they do play, Willie's gonna go with a limp knee if he's gonna play.
No, Willie's not playing. Willie's not playing. I'm telling you right now, Willie's not playing. Willie has a sprained ACL. He's not playing. I saw him. He's not playing. So
I don't know who you're
go out
gonna
on
get,
the limb,
I can't.
and I'm gonna say this game ends up 2-2 tied.
I would expect a tie. I mean, unless this Nico guy's a freak, bro. But it depends who you get, bro. Who you getting? Give us one name.
He can't. I don't know. I don't think that's. That's within his power. And,
yeah, I can't talk about ongoing transactions.
And this is not a show of speculation. So moving on, Raiders, Patriots. And honestly, ever since I saw Jaime inserted into a Patriots team already with Carlos, Crispy, and Baca as your starting 4, with Ant coming off the bench, that's a good team. That's a great team. and I don't see anything that the Raiders could do to stop that.
Yeah,
Or-
the reason why I say it, why I'm gonna agree is because Lewis, he's gonna run a traditional defense and he's gonna play safety. And Baca's just gonna know I'm gonna hit like we've
Yeah.
seen on every
Carlos
freaking
Hyman,
highlight.
Carlos Hyman.
Gonna hitch him to death. And maybe Lewis falls asleep. Maybe Lewis says, you know what, I'm gonna change it up and I'm gonna go to corner. But Baca's very
You're Lewis, who do you shut down? Hyman?
you have to. You
You
listen,
have to.
And then you
have
put
to
and then
shut
you put
down.
Dax on Carlos
Yeah, you gotta take your chances with that matchup. I'm not gonna let you beat me with your best guy.
or
There's
Dax
no
at
way.
safety.
There's no way. If I'm like I say with Lulu, guess what? If you beat me throwing 4 dimes or 4 dots, I'm gonna be the first person to shake your hand and say, "Yo, congratulations, bro." But I'm not letting you run the ball. I'm gonna rush 2 people at you if I have to. I'm gonna make you make the throw, even if it's a simple throw. I'm gonna make you make it. There's no way I'm gonna let you beat me running the ball.
Right.
Like
Who's the Raiders rusher?
I would imagine that game they're gonna have to put Matt to rush to have a shot because I love Gabe, but Gabe has a better shot of sticking with CP.
Yeah, I just can't imagine Raiders being able to score at all, bro. I think Baca completely takes out Lewis out the game just because of size. Not a knock on Lewis again, bro, but he's an up ball guy, and I think that's not a problem for Baca. I don't think Lulu's a route runner. I mean, Lewis is a route runner.
Then you put what?
He's
Jaime
just-
on you put Jaime on Dax.
Yeah, bro. GG's.
Carlos rushing. Like, I'm sorry, bro. This is
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be, this
over,
is gonna
bro.
be
Yeah,
4
that's what-
I think it's
4-2
bad.
Patriots.
Yeah,
4-2
4-2.
Patriots.
Yeah, I have 4-2.
I say 4-1, bro. And if they score 1, it's because
It could be
bro,
4-1
I don't
because the
know.
Patriots get the ball first. It could be 4-1.
Baca maybe falls
And
asleep
at the
on
end of the
Lewis on
day,
the
at the
ball.
end of the day, if Baca's up 3-1, he's gonna be like, all right, go ahead, score so I can get the ball back and score.
Yeah. And Baca's coming off fresh. He didn't play in Havoc. So he's coming in fresh. He hasn't played any football since DD, and
Yeah, they don't match up.
I like the
They don't match
Patriots,
up
man.
on
And
this
we're
pass.
gonna
Yeah,
talk
no,
about
it's-
this later.
It's not a good matchup. It's not a good matchup.
It's not a good
Offensively.
matchup at all. Now, the one that I really wanted to get to is going to be Seahawks versus Giants. Because the Giants last week, they showed flashes of being able to play as a team. 'Cause
Yeah, they're a
every-
sneaky, ugly.
Sneaky good.
team.
Sneaky good. Because every single person is not the best at their tier, but they're damn good at their tier.
And they're tryhards.
They're
They're,
tryhards.
they're Chris C has been the steal,
Yes.
of the draft so far. Definitely
Jerry.
the best tier 4 offensively. Jerry, I'm
Monster.
gonna take that back. Jerry's the steal of the draft. Jerry should have not dropped to the 12th overall pick. That's nuts.
He
And
started
then
bad week
and then
1.
arguably
Not
one of
gonna
your
lie.
worst, like, and what, one of your worst
He
players
busted
is
my-
Forrest, and one of your worst players is Forrest. Like, I'm telling you, like,
I
that's
mean,
another-
it's just Forrest is not utilized. He's definitely not heavily
Right.
utilized.
yeah,
in that
but Chris D's not the quarterback for Forrest, but the fact that there's intangibles that Forrest could bring onto the field with his speed and his elusiveness, like, you have to account for that speed.
Yeah, exactly. Look, he's getting handoffs, running by people. He's rushing because he's being able to save his energy on offense because he's not being used enough on offense, which is fine. If it's working, it's working. Hey, they're 8-4, so obviously it's working.
There is at least 2 throws where I was watching their game against the Bears, and I see Forrest coming back into the huddle, and Chris is like looking at Forrest, is like, I should just trusted you and launched it. And that's, you have to account for that. And eventually Chris is going to pull the trigger, and then that's going to be the shift for that team, because you're going to be like, wow, hold on. What are we going to do? Who are we going to cover? Who is it that we're going to cover?
It puts you in a pickle because then you can't have. Not everyone has a tier 3 or a tier 4 like myself that can rush and sack Chris D.
Absolutely. So
I like this. I like that game. I'm gonna take Giants, bro.
So that's
4-3.
another thing. Piggy's another one that's been able to
think-
get away with murder with his trade
I
and
think-
so I honestly, like, if Piggy doesn't win the league, he
Oh, he has Ricky. Wow.
Yeah.
Never mind, bro. You just
Yeah.
reminded me. You killed me with that one.
Giants
I don't
deceptively
know how
good.
that happened, bro.
So,
He has
so I want you
two
to
tier twos.
think about this. The number 1 player in the league has 2 tier 2s and 2 tier 4s.
But
And
that's an indictment. That's an indictment on
Oh,
the rest
yeah.
of the captains.
no, and the DDPA, it is, but it's on the DDPA 100%. I don't care if Ricky's missing a week. You don't trade Ham for Ricky. I don't care all this nonsense that Joan wants to freaking feed everybody about, oh, Ham is so good. Ham was a number one pick. Ham was a captain. Just like everyone else, the talent has passed Ham.
Of course.
There's a reason why he's not a
100%.
captain. There's a reason why he's not a tier 2. I don't care that he once was. It's just, it is what it is. So this whole notion that, oh, Ricky, Ham can do things that other tier 2s can't. I agree. He's fast as hell. I try to hold the guy. I completely whiffed. I couldn't even get a hands on him. He ran right past me. That's not saying much because it was me. But yes, he can run a go or a post, come right back and do it again. That's great. Okay, congratulations. His catch percentage is what, 70% of the time? He doesn't have the greatest hands. And defensively, he's not the greatest defender. No knock on Ham. Again, no knock on Ham. But this whole notion that was an even trade because Ricky was missing a week, that's on CeCe's fault for drafting 2 players that are missing the same week. And then in retrospect, the replacement of Ray, that doesn't make any sense. The rankings, because he was ranked 2 years ago, he was ranked in a tournament where no one had seen the guy play super low. Oh, okay. And he had to play with Jeremy, who everyone can say Jeremy's a terrible quarterback. So I'm like, come on, bro. So, and again, you got to take into effect, you're giving these weapons to the number 1 player. So I'm going to say it again. If Piki doesn't win, he should go 4-0 this week. I don't care who he plays. He should go 4-0.
Right.
And he should win the league in a landslide. So if he doesn't win the league in a landslide,
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Seahawks open up against the Jaguars. That should be a dub. Seahawks versus Bears. No disrespect. That should be a dub. Seahawks versus Cowboys. They already beat them.
And again, and at the end of the day, if the matchup was already bad with Ray, you're giving literally a tier 4 that, athletically speaking, is arguably in the top 3 players in tier 4 in Michael Aguirre. So
you gave Piki a player, arguably, and this is not Enzo's having a great year, but you just gave Piki a player that now Enzo's probably not the primary option anymore on that team.
No,
that's
he's
crazy.
Not by any means. But
that's crazy.
No. His tier 4 is the fastest player on that team, besides Piki.
The Michael Aguirre guy?
Yeah. Spartacus.
I was saying Giants, bro, not thinking about Ricky, because I think Chris D maybe makes Andres struggle rushing, and Chris D, I think, is a hard matchup, for I don't know who's gonna guard him. But now with Ricky there, bro, I can't imagine bold statement. I don't think Piki punts the ball next week on any drive, bro.
Yeah. Like I said, I think if he's never gone 4-0,
that's a team, bro. That's a legit turning team, like a red zone team.
This is a week where he could go 4-0 because even against the Cowboys, he gets ball first.
And again, the matchup of Roger on Michael Aguirre, bro, no shot.
Now, against the Giants, I'm gonna give 4-3 Piki.
Yeah, I think it's still, and even if I'm gonna say 4-2 just because again the Giants offense.
Listen, I saw the Giants play. I respect the hell out of Chris D. And
that offense is quirky enough where they're gonna at least score twice.
Yeah, but man, the Seahawks are just so good.
Yeah,
that's tough. Piki, you're not fair, dog. So that said, I think we kind of had a consensus on practically all the games of the week. So with all that said, that's a lot to digest, guys. Moving on, projections for the playoffs. Now, looking at the South, and a lot has already been said. The Saints have favorable matchups where I feel that they could, go 3-1 or 2-2, and that's enough for them to be able to jump. If they do, they'll jump the Chargers, and the Raiders are out of the playoffs. If everything goes according to plan in terms of everyone playing out as they should, obviously, we're not accounting for ties or anything like that, but if what has progressed through week 1 to week 3 replicates for week 4, in my opinion, Saints go 2-2, 3-1. They get the 5th seed. Chargers 0-4, 1-3, get the 6th seed, and then the Raiders are on the outside looking in. What do you guys think?
The Raiders have a tough schedule, as we've alluded to before, because their 2 toughest games are the games where they don't get ball. So I would imagine to win those games, they need to get at least 2 stops, because I also don't see their offense being so freaking, prolific that they can score on every drive.
Right.
Because I know for a fact they're not beating the Patriots 4-3 with only stopping them once. Because Baca, Jaime, and Carlos will be able to get at least one stop.
Absolutely.
So that's why I think the Raiders need to get at least 2 stops in that game. And same thing with the Dolphins. Obviously, I'm going to give the edge to Lewis in terms of offensively is just throw it. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, David is not as much as a pushover as people think because of his size. And I think the Mikey Dax matchup is pretty even. And I would probably lean towards Mikey. Definitely defensively on Dax more than Dax covering Mikey. So, and then it just comes down to, again, if you have Gabe T rushing David, I think David can buy time, make people.
Yeah, bro.
And if you switch it and you put Matt to rush David, hey, Manny C, go run a straight freaking go.
Yeah, bro, it's over. Literally, bro. That
so,
guy is balling.
So it's tough. It's tough. I think they cannot. It's great to talk about these games on paper. It's a whole different ballgame when people get there. They freak out. They forget their game plan, which I don't understand that part of it because I'm gonna lose with my best option. So I'm really good about game planning against the team. So, but bro, Mikey can attest to it. I literally every time I play Mikey, I said exactly what I'm gonna do, and that's exactly what I do. So if I give you a game plan, I'm giving you the keys to winning. Follow it. I don't care. If it doesn't work, if it doesn't work because freaking, I don't know, Lewis drops a post, I'm gonna throw a post again. It's not because it didn't work, or even if David makes one great play, I'm gonna lose with my best player giving me a chance to win.
Yeah.
Or the best matchup in my favor, something like that. But yeah, man, it's a tough schedule. It's a tough schedule because I think both of those games, they need to get at least 2 stops. And I don't think they can.
Now, something that not sure if it's unprecedented, but going into week 4, we have the 49ers in first place, the Falcons in second place. 49ers are going to be playing 4 hard with 2 tier 5s in Nick G and Nick Q, as we already alluded earlier on the show. And then the Falcons, that's legitimate turmoil right there because they have no Lulu and it's unknown if they're even going to show up to play. And even if they do, it's a tough schedule. And we've sort of seen that their offense has just been Lulu.
100%.
Everything.
Yeah.
So that's my next point with the South. The Patriots and the Dolphins have a lot to play for.
Oh, that's the 1 and 2 seed. No doubt about it. They're the
Dolphins are 3, Patriots are 4. They're both tied at 22 points. The Dolphins have a 6+ point differential margin, so they have the upper hand. If everything goes according to plan, Dolphins should be first place going into the playoffs. Patriots should be second place.
Our schedule's really easy, yeah.
It could very well be Patriots first place, Dolphins second place, but that would only mean that if Mikey, David, and company go out partying Friday night and they get completely obliterated, and you guys play hungover the first 2 games.
I think we have the easiest ranked schedule in the entire league this week, bro. It's bad.
Yeah, but then look at the Patriots. The Patriots play the Bucks. They're
Bro, they're not bad.
Yes, but they still have Devin.
That's true.
How the hell they got 3 wins, I think, last week?
Yeah, because they beat us. They had free sub. Devin didn't have to play defense, and that, yeah, it was GG's there. So, if Devin doesn't have to play defense, that team is wow.
Yeah, but then you rather have your tier 5 play defense over Devin?
Devin was bad, bro.
I don't know.
Alec is their tier 5.
No, Alec is their tier 4. It's Chris P. The Panthers old tier 5. But then they play the Chargers. That should be a dub. And then they play the Niners. That should be another dub. So you guys can both end up 3-1. Or you guys can very easily, just for the sake of the argument, can both end up 2-2. If you end up 2-2, I don't think you guys.
No, it doesn't matter. Dolphins are first because of the +6 point differential.
And that's your point differential will definitely be higher.
So it's huge for Jordan, the fact that he's not going to be able to have Baca for his final week of the season, because now instead of having a bye, Now you're playing.
Yeah, no, I think honestly, I think Jordan ends up in the 4th seed. I think he drops all the way down to 4.
Who do you think? Who do you think takes third?
Oof. I want to say the Chargers, man, because I just don't see both the Raiders and the Saints getting in. I see one of them missing. I don't see how both of them can out jump the Chargers, even though the Chargers are going full hard. But yeah, I think actually, you know what? I'm gonna say that the Raiders jump up to 3rd. Because in essence, all they need. Oh no,
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, too much. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna say it's gonna be
49ers end up third. It'll be
third. I'm gonna
Dolphins
say Dolphins, Patriots, Niners, Falcons,
and then Chargers. I mean Saints, Chargers. That's the way that I have it. Saints, Chargers, Raiders,
Falcons at 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, one and two
they have 20. They have
three.
24. They have 24 points.
Yeah, the gap between them and the 6 and 7 seed is too much that they won't
Now,
drop.
now here's the caveat.
It's 8 points. They
If
can
the
follow.
Saints go 3-1, they'll have 25 points, and then that could propel them to the 4th spot, in which then the Falcons would get the 5th, and then the Chargers would get the 6th. Still leaves the Raiders out.
Yeah,
The Raiders. Let's just crazy example. Raiders
Whichever way
and
you
go
cut
3-1
it,
each.
whichever way you cut it, you're gonna need 21 points to get into the playoffs in the South.
Yeah, because the bottom line is Chargers are right now the worst team, and that's saying that they go 0-4. So you need at least 21 points. I agree.
The 1st seed bye might actually suck because if Chargers get 3rd or 6th, you're facing the real Chargers in playoffs. You don't want to do that.
Maybe
With Ian.
you don't. I mean, if Ian's not eligible, if he's not eligible to play playoffs, I think Eddie's would be dumb if he doesn't replace him with anyone at that point.
Right. Are there
I'm
any
gonna be
specific
doing-
rules trading tier for tier in the playoffs or no?
No, I mean, if anything, it's easier because you could just. I mean, God knows, to be honest, with the DDPA, who knows how they're gonna base it off this year. But last
for
year,
Ian,
no,
with
but
the
last
last-
year was simple. Last year was if at the end of the season, whoever didn't make playoffs, it was just whoever was rated behind you or whoever was drafted behind you. You know, that's why remember we had Ray replace Gabe, who was drafted right after Gabe. Then we had Eddie replaced by Baga. So I would like to say it's easier that way. You know, Ian can get replaced by,
Julio, Marshall.
by Julio, Marshall, which I would assume Eddie probably goes Julio, but by Julio, Marshall, a Jerry. Well, Jerry's gonna make it in. A KP. No, KP got drafted 3rd, but Ian was the 2nd-rated player. So again, it just depends on the DDPA.
Oh my
It just depends
goodness.
how the DDPA wakes up that day. Who knows the DDPA and the commissioner? This season has been a complete mess.
And now not having Kevin there, it's a 2-2 tie, if anything, and then the
they go
commissioner,
it
which
falls
is
to the-
Joan, gets the tiebreaker.
commissioner. Great.
Tough. Now, looking at the North, the Bears and the Cardinals hold on to the final spots, in my opinion. I just think that there's just too much to be done. The teams below them, Titans, Steelers, Packers have no shot. I don't see the Jaguars doing anything better than 2-2. I feel the Cardinals are going to go 2-2, and that still leaves the Cardinals above the Jaguars, unless something miraculously happens there. Jaguars are on the outside looking in. I just don't see any changes there on the 5th or 6th between the Bears and the Cardinals. Thoughts?
So I think the top 4 are definitely. So I'm gonna say actually no. I think the only person that's a lock for the playoffs is Peaky. Everyone else is mathematically still like 2 through 6 or 2 through that top. Let's say 2, 3, and 4. Giants, Panthers, and Cowboys. We're still mathematically able to be eliminated.
Right.
It'll be super hard, but we're still eligible to be eliminated. I'm gonna say obviously those teams are gonna still make the playoffs. Those top 4. I think I actually think my dark horse, bro, believe it or not, is the Titans.
Oh my God, I knew it, dog. Let me tell you something about the Titans. I would love it, but yo, Julio's attitude for DD es una mierda, bro. That guy, all he does is say, yo, I'm just going to go with a Henny bottle tomorrow morning. I'm going to throw it. I'm going to see what happens. That's literally his attitude every week. And it was last week. I don't know how it worked out. I think they did good. I think they went 3-1, right? Or 2-2?
3-1, I think. 3-1 or
Bro.
2-1. I think they were able to
whatever.
play the last game.
Julio playing quarterback, bro. And he's coming in with the same attitude, nothing to low key, bro. That's an advantage, bro. When you just go with that attitude, nothing to lose, you know.
And,
Effort,
and,
I'm
He
a-
goes.
that's where-
Listen, he goes 2-2. He has 19 points, and it's still not enough to get in.
But again, this is the factors. You know, you're saying 2-2 doesn't give a mid at 19, but you're giving. I'm not saying you're giving a lot of credit, but I'm saying you're giving a lot of credit to the Cardinals, to JD and CC.
Cardinals do not
Bam,
make it.
that they can get
They
to.
don't make it.
I think that
Cardinals
team
fall out.
improves. I think that
They
team
lose to
improves.
Bears. They lose to Giants.
Listen, if
Um,
CC pooches it again, as in,
It'll be him, but I think it'll be more JD because at the end of the day, that's who you're gonna blame.
yeah, but
I saw the Cardinals
wait. Relax. The captain is CC.
Oh, 100%. I agree with you. CC hasn't been in the playoffs since he hasn't been with John. He hasn't been in the playoffs.
He put himself in this position. He
100%.
drafted Ricky knowing that Ricky wasn't going to be available.
5th overall.
5th overall. So you
Terrible
drafted
pick,
someone who
knowing
wasn't going to
that.
be there week 3, and then you had 2 guys missing. You had to make this trade. Listen, if he doesn't make, a lot is riding on CC. If CC doesn't make the playoffs, then there's already questions.
I agree with you. A lot is riding on CC, but
there's a lot of questions around CC if he should be a captain and done deal. If he rides another team like he did with the Cardinals last season, like he's doing right now, and they don't make the playoffs, that's
so then,
bad.
but what do you have to say about Drew? Because Drew has at least plays quarterback, so he has full control of a team, and he hasn't made the playoffs either.
The Steelers are bad.
Look, yeah,
And that team on paper was stacked.
Yeah,
arguably the best tier 4 on offensively on paper. I probably will still take Laz over Chris Z offensively. Laz is a problem, bro.
he is a problem. I love that guy. I have him on my ticket every week. But yo, Chris Z is dirty.
I understand, but he's also getting the chances.
And Laz throws too, bro. Laz was through. You know, he has the ability to at least.
But then Alabao tier 5. I said it going into the season. That guy should win best tier 5 in a landslide. How many I think he has more touchdowns thrown than catches in the season. Like Drew doesn't use that guy. That guy is a problem at tier 5.
Yeah, bro.
I agree. And Drew is the quarterback. So if anything, I'm gonna put more blame. I'm not gonna put more blame on Drew than CC because obviously I think Drew has no shot. Drew mathematically has a shot, but he's not getting in. But I think if the Cardinals falter, yes, obviously it's on CC. He's the captain. But man, listen, JD has the last 2 weeks. He's thrown 2 picks that I've seen that I'm like, what are you doing?
We have film. We have film of him, bro. I have it on the Mike. Mike, put it in if you on this edit. Hopefully we can talk over this. I even said it while watching that film. That guy makes some throws and I'm like, yo, that was horrific. Even Chris tells him in the video, if Mike editing this puts audio on it, you can hear Chris like, what the was that, bro? Just completely missing. That guy is
from what I've seen from JD, JD's more right? What I've seen more about JD's more of a tournament quarterback than he is a season quarterback. I think that JD, you don't know what you're going to get from JD.
That guy's horrible, bro. That guy's horrific.
Yeah, but come on,
what is that? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, that was the last tournament before the summer showdown. But come on, think about this. Yeah, JD looked good as a quarterback. No, the fuck he didn't. He had 3 chances of winning the game in longest yard, and he had CC on 5-yard hitches.
That's right.
Kevin, and he never threw it.
No, Mikey, tier 6 Suazo.
You know who his tier 6 was? Suazo. You know who he replaced? David Davila. So if you don't win with that team, I don't want to hear it.
I was playing with David Suazo beat us twice.
They beat a Kevin-led team. They beat a Kevin-led team.
With Dusty and Simply.
In like 7 overtimes, longest yard, because Kevin didn't know where the line of scrimmage was, so that's on Kevin. And JD couldn't throw a 5-yard hitch to CC when he was having Kevin running around in circles trying to figure out what route CC was running when CC was running a hitch and Kevin had no idea how to stop it. So
bro, I hope the film shows it, bro. The guy was throwing bad, like bad.
And then in the last
Missing
tournament,
completely.
you know, in the last tournament, which
So
again,
you guys have Titans and Jaguars sneaking into the playoffs.
I have
I think one
Jags
of them.
sneaking in. I don't
Jags
like
sneaking
Titans because
in?
their schedule's too hard for the
Listen,
Titans.
the league is better if Laura's in the playoffs. There's more talent to look at. You know, from these teams, you tell me Cardinals, Jaguars, Titans, you're gonna want to see Laura in the playoffs. See what happens.
I like Jags getting in. I do not like Cardinals team at all. I saw them play. It's really bad. It hurts to watch them play. Chris the whole time is just talking to refs for one touchdown. I mean, like they don't score. They don't move the ball. It's bad. Titans, I hope Julio pulls something out as my boy, but the schedule looks tough, bro. Panthers, Giants, Steelers, Cowboys. But again, Cardinals, I think, I don't know, bro. I like Jags, but definitely Cardinals out. Bye-bye. Cardinals get out.
Yeah, I
You
don't
suck.
think they make the playoffs.
Cardinals get out. You suck. You don't even deserve to be there. You suck at drafting, my guy. You should have been just like AJ and then a tier 1.5. You're good, but you're not a captain. You're too dumb. So don't be a cap next season.
Other points in the North. Giants, Panthers, Cowboys all have legitimate shots at getting the second seed and solidifying their case to get a bye in the playoffs.
Yeah, we're 1 point. We're all separated by 1 point. 24, 23, 22.
All is going to depend, in my opinion, on the cohesion of that new addition of that tier 3, tier 4, whatever we're going to label them at for the Cowboys, and whether or not the Giants, you know, they put together another string of games like they've been doing the past couple of weeks, and the Panthers' health. So there's a lot of questions there going into the final week of the season. There's a lot of questions, a lot of things to be answered. It's going to be a jam-packed weekend, a lot of games to watch. It's going to be difficult to stand on the field and look at a game that will have very to little no implication in the playoff picture. So I think halfway through the morning, we'll sort of know where we're going to be at. But these are the games to look for, guys. So that said, that's enough talking about the past and the future. Let's talk a little bit more about accolades and talking about players and their performances. And one of the things that it's the most coveted award is the MVP race. And, you know, we showed you guys last week who we had in our top 3, the past 2 weeks, who we had in our top 3. But obviously we sort of knew that eventually there were going to be certain things that were going to come into play, sort of Lulu not being able to be here for the last week of the season. And his week 3 wasn't impressive at all. Same thing with Eddie, the fact of playing with 2 tier 5s, and ultimately the injury to Ian sort of decimated whatever MVP hopes he had, given the fact that now he's going to have no Ian for 3 games for week 3, and he's not going to have Ian for week 4. So his numbers and his stock completely tanked. So our new and improved revised list includes 2 names that we have not spoken about, and we feel that are 2 names that should be coveted for your vote. And the 3 gentlemen that we're going to be speaking about is at first place, Edgar Piqui Guerra. Right?
Yeah, it's his to lose. It's his to lose. You know, best offensive stats. I wouldn't say all around stats because our second candidate, which I think is as of right now is in second place, has the overall stats. I think defensive stats, his stats are ridiculous when you take into account he's doing everything. But I think it's Piggy's MVP to lose. You know, number 1 seed. His team's going to be ridiculous this week, so he should at least have a 3-1 week. So he should definitely finish with the best record overall. Should probably lead the league in touchdowns. You know,
and his touchdown to interception ratio, and also his contribution on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
now
his
the other
stats are going to be there, but his presence.
Well, out of all 3 of the candidates, he has the lesser defensive contribution, but the best offensive contribution. But bro, you gotta show Baca love, dude, because his ratio's 26-1, and you could pretty much say that he started quarterback week 2 for the most part, like week 1.5, because Devin was, you know, but his completion percentage.
Yeah, he's leading the league completion percentage. He for sure has the best touchdown or interception ratio, and then he has like 4 or 5 picks, 4 or 5 sacks.
Top 2 sacks,
black pools,
and
like,
we saw the highlights.
Pools.
We saw the highlights in the Dolphins in the Dolphins Patriots game, and a lot of those flag pulls was Baca himself, and he's the one that assigns himself the toughest assignment on the team, and you know, and Baca's one of those players that, and I'm glad he's getting his due. and that he's been able to come into his own, be on a team where he's surrounded with talent that could be able to enhance his skill set on the football field. Because going into last season, there was a lot of trash being told about Baca. We had him on the show. We talked to him, and it's one of those things where he wanted to be able to have the opportunity to showcase his talent. And I think he's done that. I think he's done that, and it's sort of kind of answered that question if Baca could be a successful quarterback in DD. And the answer is yes. If he's able to draft a team around him that could curtail to the offense that he could be able to run and could play, that gritty defense that he likes to play. It's one of the reasons that he's on this list and deservingly so. But what can we say about David, last year's MVP, huh?
I mean, yeah, he's David. You knew he was going to make a late season push. We said it. His team got to a weird, slow start. He made up for it last week, going for hard. That was a big performance. And so actually, I'm going to say this: Piggy's trophy to lose, right? If Piggy goes 2-2, and either Baca or David go 4-0, either of those is probably going to get my vote. Because
and
they're
then
going to
depending
finish
on what happens playoffs, right?
Because if one of them, if one of those two guys go 4-0, they're for sure getting the number 1 seed in the South.
Right.
And you can assume that they're probably going to account for 13 out of 16 touchdowns for their teams, maybe at least, and you can account. I'm not gonna say offensive stats because we're talking about 3 quarterbacks. So I'm just focusing on offense. I'm sorry. So if one of them goes 4-0 and accounts for at least 13 of their touchdowns, they both have better defensive stats than Piggy as it is. So if Piggy underwhelms at 2-2 with that team, then I think one of those 2 other guys gets my vote over Piggy. That's the only way I can see Piggy not winning MVP.
This week is big, but again, like we were saying, if Falcons, because we're playing a lot of teams that are forfeiting, Bengals, Falcons, so these things cannot hurt David. So I'm just gonna, if those things actually happen, I'm gonna say it's Piggy's to lose. I feel bad for Baca, man. I wish he would have just been quarterback week 1 and trusted himself. He shouldn't be drafting a quarterback ever again, bro. Guy, this is a very big flip to the narrative from last season, because listen, Baca was getting trashed left and right all season. Perra, you know this. We had him on the show.
He had a tough break. He went for the 2 tier 2s, 2 tier 5, and then one of your tier 5 goes down week 2, and then then both of your tier 2s are constantly hurt, nicked up. So that doesn't help, So yeah, it was definitely rough for Baca last season. He definitely didn't get a fair shake, in terms of like
you can say now that Baca, bro, he probably has the best, arguably top 3 offensive weapon on his team, and it's helped him a lot, bro. You can see it in the numbers, bro. The guy doesn't throw picks. He completion percentage is high. Carlos is super underrated.
But just because you have them, how many times do we talk about a captain? We talk about a player and it's like, oh, he's underutilizing this player. He's underutilizing this player. He's not playing this player to his strength. Baca's utilizing his players to their strengths. He's maximizing. 100%. Did you see Jaime's stat line for last week?
Dude, that guy's balling. If Jaime came in week 1, we're gonna get there. 2,
we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there.
But I think Mikey. I don't know if that's what you were trying to say, but yeah, I think if Jaime is in from week 1, he's the number 1 player, the only player that I've seen in all my seasons of DD that can remotely, obviously in this offense as it's going this season.
Yeah,
he's the only player that I can see even getting close to a Lions catch record.
86, right?
89, I think.
89. Now,
well, in 2 weeks, we'll talk about it later.
Now, one of the inclusions that we had to this show, and sort of we're going to dial down here to talk for the MVP race, and it's sort of the same names, it's Eddie, it's Lulu, it's Beaky, it's David, and sort of the what we're advocating here on DD Live. And even though it's just us awarding,
it's our award. I'm sorry, guys, it doesn't come with money or anything.
Awarding airtime.
Nah, but it's better. Ours is better.
We need to add this because we need to spread the love to all the players. And
sure.
one of the inclusions that we wanted to add into the league is the offensive player of the year. And we showed you last week what we felt was going to be the, the front runner and sort of the runaway for the offensive player of the year. But someone that we just spoke about, it's depending on his week 4, could just completely overlap what Mark has done with 2-week head start. So the 2 players that we're talking about, obviously Mark from the Cowboys and Jaime from the Patriots.
Yep.
bro.
What do you guys think?
They're both tied for first in catches. Jaime's played 4 fewer games. And have more
55
touchdowns.
catches to 47 Jaime. Same touchdowns. Jaime's thrown 1 touchdown. Mark has thrown 2. But Mark has a full week ahead, bro. And Mark is, and Jaime's playing with Baca, who just came in week 2. And the team was in disarray. Bro, Jaime is literally on pace. You multiply it by 2, he's on pace for 94 catches, 34 touchdowns. If he was to play the full season. I don't know what the record is for touchdowns. I'm sure that's the record, right?
32.
34 receiving.
32.
Well, he's on pace for 34 and then 94 catches. He was gonna shatter both with Baca.
Yeah, like I
Yeah,
said, I mean,
if he puts it up, again in week 4, the conversation has to be had. The one that we're having, that listen, Jaime is a bad man.
yeah, I mean, if
That's
Jaime
skinny
puts up
little
another Jaime performance like he's done both weeks, and Mark takes even half a step backwards, it's Jaime's award.
Which could very well happen just because of the fact that their tier 4 is not a tier 4 and they're going to spread the love.
You would imagine so. You would imagine so. But yeah, I mean, I think it's, as of right now, I'm still got to give it to Mark. It is what it is. But I think at the end of week 4, we're gonna have a different discussion.
What can we
It's a
say?
race.
What can we say about the defensive player of the year?
Let
Runaway.
me see.
Run away.
Graphic.
For me,
Run
yeah.
away.
it's Andres, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Run away.
15 sacks.
He's gonna break the record in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, who does
Who did he play game 1?
Game
Who did he
1.
play?
I'll tell you right now. Schedule Seahawks week 4, game 1 for the Seahawks, 8:45 against the Jaguars.
Ooh, I don't think he gets it that game.
Yeah, I don't think he gets it on Eric. Maybe he does. Maybe he
It'll
maybe
be
he ties the
great.
record.
I
Maybe he
don't-
ties the record. I don't know about breaking the record, but maybe he could tie the record.
I would say this. I think if he breaks it, which I think is, you can pretty much say he's going to. I don't want to wish him, I don't want to jinx him or anything like that. But I think as long as he breaks it, the only other person I can remotely even say is Petey, because I think he has 6-7 picks. So if Petey gets to double-digit picks, then maybe he puts up a fight. But man, breaking the sack record, something that it's hard.
He's gonna rush. He's gonna rush Laura. He's gonna rush Chris J. He's gonna rush Andy, and he's gonna rush Chris D.
Ow.
Look, can I play devil's advocate here?
Go for it, Mikey.
Look, Andres has had a crazy season. He's probably gonna get the record, but I just want to make it clear that I do agree with Pera. Someone else can get this, because name me right now the 5 most mobile quarterbacks in DD. I'm gonna name them for you: Beaky, Eddie, Lulu, David, and Cheeky. Am I missing another mobile quarterback?
You have to put Baca in there.
Baca. Okay, is Andres rushing any of them all season? No.
Eddie.
No.
I think just Eddie.
No, Eddie's in my conference.
Oh, that's right. So he's rushed.
No
Yeah.
mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah,
So,
you're right.
so yes, he's sacking broad. It's not even to discredit him, but we gotta bring these things to light, bro. The guy, I feel like he's had a pretty easy schedule. So if PD can get some picks, or someone can do something.
I think
maybe-
the only person is PD, because if you get into that double digit picks, bro, that's a big number in picks.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I agree. Picks don't come easy, bro, and they don't. So I like that he has that many sacks. I don't like the people he sacked. I'm being just completely honest, bro.
I can give that.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can give you. That's the only thing I can give you. And like I said, that and the fact that if PD gets to double digit picks, that's the only other
But
thing.
I'm still
I
saying
don't see it happening.
that he's a tier 4 and he's doing this against guys that are rated higher than.
No, he's balling. Either way, he has touchdowns. He has
He's
26
sacking-
flagpoles.
We're talking about defensive player, and he's sacking
they said
quarterbacks that are
T4.
better than him.
Yeah. No,
that
no,
are
no.
rated higher than him.
The guy's he's doing his job.
He's having an exceptional campaign. Now, the next thing that we wanted to bring in, and it sort of just shed more light on, the core of this show, the viewers. That's why we left the best for last. We're going to give you, going into week 4, who we feel are the best tier 3s, tier 4, and tier 5. Because as you all well know, that's going to come down to a vote. So knowing that you're in this short list kind of means that that's where sort of the public eye is on. So week 4 will depend a lot on your performance and if you're going to be the best of your tier. That said, tier 3, Mikey, who are the 2 guys?
All right, so I'm biased. Actually, I'm not biased because one is my boy and the other one's my teammate. And infographics right here. Don't forget that, Mike. So, bro, these are 2 different game styles, bro. You have Manny C, who only has 25 catches, half this guy's catches, but 15 tutties, double his tutties. So this guy's a straight bomb guy. He has the 2 sacks, the 2 picks, same amount of flag pulls. I have to give it to Manny C. Just the 15 tutties a lot. Manny C is inexperienced. He doesn't play flag, bro. He just started red zone last season, literally, like his first ever debut. Now he's in DD all of a sudden. We're in the huddle and he's like, we're telling him, yo, post flat. He's like, what's flat? You have to explain that to him. And he's doing this, bro. Yo, he has more touchdowns than me. You can ask David yourself. He's the number 1 option on our team. Yeah, I have more catches, but when we want a big play, it's Manny. And it's not a knock on Carlos. Carlos has his own game style. 42 catches, which is a lot for a T3. I think he leads all T3s in catches. 7 tutties, obviously, because Jaime is just murdering.
Yeah.
He has his 2 sacks, 13 flag pulls. It's there, bro. It's gonna come down to week 4. But Manny C, enormous, bro. He's top 4 in tutties. He's a T3 rookie, bro. Holy crap.
Wow.
He's yeah, bro. The kid's fast. And he's doing the race this Saturday, so he might be the fastest guy in DD. We'll find out.
Tier 4, Perra.
Coño, you didn't even ask Perra if you agree with me in T3. Do you agree with me or am I being biased?
We did.
No, we agreed.
okay.
We agreed.
Okay.
We did. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm being biased because Carlos my boy and Manny's my teammate.
We agree.
No,
It's gonna come down to week 4.
We chose this, before the show. But no, I agree. I agree with everything you said. I don't think any of the tiers.
I just think that Jaime is gonna steal a little bit of Carlos's thunder.
That's the bad thing, bro.
Like
Carlos.
we said, like we said, the other tier 3s that I would say are even in the conversation are Shamir, which.
But now he loses
his stats
because
are gonna
Lulu.
dip. His stats are gonna dip, and then you guys mentioned the only other person that you would even think about would be me.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have enough touchdowns, in my opinion, as a quarterback through 3 weeks to say, yeah, I should be in the conversation. Obviously we know that, things happen, whatever, but I just don't think I should be there. So I think for tier 4, bro, honestly, it was super easy. It was Andres because of everything we talked about already. His defensive stats are ridiculous, but the dude is also murdering offensively. Like Mikey, talk to me. I know he has, I think, 20-something catches and double-digit touchdowns.
29 catches, 11 tutties.
So it's not like he's only a defense. It's not like he's only a rush. He's not only
he's moving.
But then you have the complete other side where you have Chris Zuzo, which honestly, bro, from playing them twice, and you can argue he's the number 1 receiver on the team.
Well, that guy's balling. That guy's 4 picks.
Both ways.
9 touchdowns, 38 catches. A T4,
he plays both
bro.
ways. He plays both ways.
So and like I said, I honestly, you can argue that he's the number 1 receiver. Obviously, it helps that he's getting covered by other tier 4s, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I've played that team twice, and that's the number 1 person, Chris D looks for. So I think it's those 2 guys. I think it comes down to those 2 guys, without a question.
Yeah, it does. I think this race is really tight,
I
though.
think overall, especially if we carry it over into week 4, I think Chris Z might be the best tier.
I think
think
it's
his
just all
numbers-
around.
all
Yeah,
around,
he's
all
rounded,
around,
bro.
all around. If we were only going to speak on a defensive side, I just feel that Andres's contribution has been that much more
No, and-
significant.
He's breaking. If he ends up breaking the record, he should get.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna definitely, at least in my eyes,
DPOY.
you know, he's gonna get defensive player of the year. And then the only thing I can say for him, maybe not winning best tier 4, is if he takes a step back offensively. And it's not because he's gonna suck. It's just because his team is so much better, you know,
Ricky and Enzo, bro.
offensively, where he, you know, Peaky's gonna be able to spread the ball out. You know, so I just think he might
I
take
agree.
a slight step backwards there. And that's the only thing that can potentially hurt him, I feel like. And then again, if Chris Z has a monster week 4.
And Mikey,
Yeah.
final tier 5.
So we got Nick G and Chris Marine, right? Marine, that's how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Chris Merritt.
Bro. So initially we wanted to put Boo, but Nick G literally has the same stats as Boo in 4 less games. So Boo, sorry dog, you're out. Couldn't put you in. Chris M has, we felt
a
like was more of a
defensive, yeah.
competition. Yeah.
That's just
He has it.
tier 5.
Chris M has 5 sacks, 8 flag pulls, no picks. Nick G is absolutely absent on defense. I want to make that clear. He has 0 picks, 0 sacks, and 4 flag pulls in 8 games. He's absent on defense. That guy's not doing nothing. But he has 27 catches and 7 TDs in 8 games.
And he has the
And-
highlight plays to go with it. He has, I think, like 2 or 3 ridiculous one catches. Like, you know, so and as much as we want to, you know, Angel, you know, as much as we want to make fun of Roger for winning best tier 5 last season and saying it was a popularity contest, I mean, he right now, if it's a popularity contest, he's gonna win it. You know,
But
obviously
look,
he has tough competition because Marin's very well liked. I will say that, but
And-
he has the highlight plays.
Niners this week look very weak, bro. Like,
So he might get the numbers though. The ball might have to be forced to him, just like it was Roger last season.
Right.
for example, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If we play the Niners, David is gonna cover Jordan, and I'm gonna cover Nick G. You get me? Those are the games. That's what Nick G's gonna have to face this week. He's the wide receiver too now, because there's no backup.
I'd rather
Which I-
you
I don't
rush
think-
PD. I'd rather you rush PD that you're a little bit more controlled and just
I
tell
got
man,
Ernie.
Yeah, they got Ernie now.
Yeah.
What I trade for Ernie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick G's gonna have to face wide receiver. He's getting wide receiver
Yeah.
2 treatment this weekend. This week, all 4 games. I think his numbers can regress, even though he's balling. Marine has a shot here. I don't want to count him out yet. I think oh no, but Falcons too. That no Lulu. Nah. Yeah.
It might
the
be a
cap.
week for Boo to step up, bro. Boo,
Yo, hey, you know what, Boo? Hey, Boo, you know what? Boo has a shot here. If these people buzz and Boo pops off,
It is what it is.
bro. Wow, we should have included him as a 3rd one just because of the whole situation. But yeah, so T5 is in the air. We'll see what happens, bro. It's a crazy week.
Well, gentlemen, in the final segment, bold predictions. Now, I want you guys to give me something that we didn't even discuss. Just something. Give me something that's gonna get the people going.
I let me go first, man, because I really want to reiterate this to people, man. I believe in the Bucks. Okay, I believe in them. I think they're a good team. Yes, Devin sucks on defense, but I don't think I think KP and Ant is just too much of a problem. Yes, Devin gets trigger happy and throws the bomb too much. Someone will figure it out. But I think Bucks sneak in, dude. I think Saints or Raiders are culo. I want Bucks to sneak in. I think they will sneak in. And that's and they'll just make playoffs interesting, dude. Like Devin deserves that, dude. He's been shopped around. Ended up, I think this is his 3rd team, right?
So
This season, no, this is 2nd team this season.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I feel like he's been everywhere. I want them to go in. I like Bucks. I like Bucks taking out either Saints or Raiders from a playoff spot.
Okay. Perra.
So I don't think it's a bold prediction. In terms of, I don't think they're gonna miss the playoffs, but I'm gonna give you 2. I'm gonna give you the Titans sneak in to the playoffs, and I'm gonna give you the Cowboys going 0-4.
No,
I just think
0-4. But you just said that they brought in this freak.
Yes, but I just think there is like I just want to. There's no scapegoat for Andy. Like he upgraded big time. You know, there isn't like, oh, Rafa's hurt. You know, Rafa's not getting there. Like it's all on Andy. Like, you know, he has to make the throws. He has to be able to put pressure on people because I'm imagining he's gonna rush. You know, and they have a tough schedule. They play the Bears, which if there's anything you know about Dusty, he's gonna come out swinging. They play the Panthers. To be honest, that might be their only win. I don't know what the Panthers are gonna look like. Then they play the Seahawks. I think they have no shot against the Seahawks. And then they play the Titans, who are my dark horse. You know, and they have. If I'm out of the, or I'm not out of it, but if I'm done with my game, I'm not gonna go coach the Titans, but I'm gonna go tell Julio, you better do a little quick pitch to Caesar or to Anthony when Roger's in the game and let him freaking run.
Facts.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exploit those matchups. My bold prediction, and it's sort of Peaky is no stranger, was upset that he didn't win the MVP race last season. And obviously came up short in the playoffs. I think that going into week 4, especially after what happened in other tournaments this past weekend where he was on the short end of the stick with officiating, he has a chip on his shoulders. Is this Peaky's competing against Peaky? And it has been already noted that Peaky's never gone 4-0 in done deal. And that's sort of like looming over him. It's been said on the chat. I know it has. I think Peaky goes 4-0, cements first seed, locks in that MVP, and gets the bye for the playoffs.
That's
that's a bold prediction. That's not bold.
That's bold.
Like
he's never done it. He's never done it. He's never done 4-0.
I think if he doesn't do it, that's a bust of a week. Yeah. Like what you said, if he doesn't do that, it's like, wow, guy, you failed.
If he doesn't go, like I said, if he goes 2-2, I think he loses them. If he goes 2-2,
yeah, he loses it. That's what I'm saying. He has to go perfect because with Peaky, it's like sort of the same thing that you get with like LeBron in the NBA. That it's LeBron competing against LeBron, and then it's like, if LeBron's not LeBron, we're just gonna give it to the next guy because it's not fair because LeBron gets it every year, and that's sort of what Peaky has to deal with. On the field and off the field.
I agree.
He's never done it. So I'm saying do it. Go 4-0, get the first seed, get your MVP, and go.
He doesn't have you're right. He doesn't have a walk in the park.
He could pooch one of these games, and it's not just on him. It could be
the
any
Jaguars
of his guys.
are gonna come out fighting. And they're very athletic.
He's going against people that are fighting for their lives. The Jaguars have a playoff game at stake. Laura is saying that he could be a quarterback. So they're going to come out fighting. That's one game. That's not going to be a walk in the park. The Bears
tied them with Daniel on one leg.
And they're one of those teams that could either be 6th, could be 5th. They're going to be playing as hard as they
have
can.
The Cowboys, they have the Cowboys. The Cowboys I agree. You know what? I take it back. I think obviously the expectation is for him to do well, like you said.
Because we're comparing him against him.
Yeah, it's
not him, and it's not
effect.
305, and he's not throwing to his boys, and he's playing with lesser talent. Can he do it?
Yeah,
I think he can, and I think he will.
100%. It's the LeBron effect. He's expected to go 4-0, and if he doesn't, it's a disappointment.
Exactly. Make of it what you wish.
You want to be the best, you got to take it like you're the best. Hey guys,
it was a jam-packed show. It was a great week 3. A lot of turmoil leading into week 4. Go have fun, make plays, record, send it to us. Anything you guys want to share to get on the show, share it with us, share it with your content creators. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. We wouldn't be anything without you guys. And as always, BD is life. Thank you.